Meanwhile, the facts of an uplift at the centre of the highly critical report into Oranga Tamariki are being disputed. As you heard, the Whānau Ora commissioned report calls for a complete overhaul of the ministry due to what it says are systemic failures, discrimination and human rights breaches. To illustrate its conclusions, the report and press release used the example of an uplift in the South Island, where it's alleged 14 heavily armed police officers with dogs turned up at the home of a single mum at 11 o'clock at night to remove a 5-month-old baby. But a whānau member who was there at the time says she supports the work of Oranga Tamariki, and it didn't happen that way.
I had a phone call from a cousin of mine who was very concerned for her daughter, who was locked in her bathroom at her house because her baby was going to be uplifted. The authorities were there and she couldn't get to her daughter because she was out of town, lives out of town, and she rang me to say, can you help? So I ended up going down to the house to see if I could help in any manner. When I arrived, there were probably up to 10 police. There were probably 2 in every room, except the room they couldn't get into where the baby was. So 2 up the hallway, 2 in the bedrooms. It was a 2-bedroom house, blah, blah, blah.
How many in total do you think were there, the police officers?
Between 8 to 10.
And were they all in uniform, normal?
Oh, yes.
So they were...
Everyone was in uniform.
They were standard police officers, not armed defenders squad or anything?
No. No armed defenders, no. No armed defenders.
Were they armed at all as far as you could tell?
No.
Okay.
I couldn't see that. They didn't... You must remember, I'm not... They backed off when I arrived. They could see that I was somebody that was going to make a difference to the situation because they were in a huddle working out how they were going to take this 5-month-old baby off this mother that was holding on to it for dear life. The baby was asleep, so we kept baby as calm as possible.
And how did you find the manner of the police? How would you characterise their demeanour and the way they were handling the situation?
The police are always authoritative, and to me, they represent authority. So they were there. They weren't being bullies. There weren't no bad cops, good cops. They were just doing their job.
What did the police tell you about the numbers of officers there? Why did they need so many police there?
Oh, you'd have to ask them that.
Did they say anything about that to you?
No, I didn't. No, because they were there. I deal with the here, not what could have happened.
So what did you think about the number of police officers there for this?
Well, I have a different thought patterns around how it should be dealt with, because I believe that Oranga Tamariki is a good agency and we need Oranga Tamariki people. But I also believe that we as a whānau should be involved more, or the hapu and iwi. So I'm not going to say that the police were in there wrong, because they were just doing their job and they didn't know how to do it. They need Māori in the police to teach them how to do the tikanga about going to the door. The first one that calls is the woman. Where were the women in this tikanga around picking up our babies? And so I have a different perspective.
So were they all men?
Yes.
Do you think that this child needed to be removed from its mother's care?
Yes.
Why?
Yes, I did. Because the services that had been put in place were failing her and she was failing the system. It was her decision to what she was willing to do to help to parent that child, and she chose not to. We still have the choice.
So you agreed with the removal of the child?
Absolutely, but not in the form that it was done.
So we asked the report commissioners about the discrepancies in the accounts. In a statement, the governance group of the Māori Inquiry into Oranga Tamariki says it stands by the hundreds of whānau who have had the courage to tell their stories and their truths.